Hi everyone, it looks like it's time to do some potato berries today. I'm going to do the riverwood and take you along, show you how I'm processing. On Facebook, I've seen many posts where people say, there's berries, or what are these things growing on my potato plants? And they're actually fruit, like a tomato. Potatoes, not all of them are able to do this. Some commercial varieties are male sterile, and when you're lucky, some of the Yukon Golds have been the ones that produce the berries that I've seen. And first thing people do is say, they're poisonous, they're toxic, get rid of them, and people listen. And I'd kind of like it if you all would share this video and let people know what to do with them rather than, destroy them. These are like a tomato. The fruit in here is not edible and it is toxic, but you're not meant to eat everything that grows on plants. The seeds inside, if you keep these on the plant and let them stay on until you harvest the plant or until they fall off, the longer they're on the plant, the more viable the seed is. When you cut it open, here's a good example of what you'll see inside. It's just like a tomato but smaller. It's got a cavity on this side and this side, and that's containing the seed. But I'll go ahead and show you more on how to process the seed. I keep them up here in these bags, and what you want is, to squeeze them and they're soft to tell that they're ripe. A good amount of these are ripe enough to harvest seeds from. This one here that's turning white is a little bit overripe, but it'll work. And see this one here, this one's dried out and this one's dried out. So like in my other video, I'll put a link over here, on how to rehydrate it and get the seeds out. But today I'm going to show you how to take the seeds out of a ripe berry. Just squeeze those. You want it soft like a tomato. This one's still a little bit firm, but it might be okay. But that one right there is definitely soft enough. And then this one's definitely soft enough. I'll take that one out. Okay, I've taken the berries from Riverwood and dropped them in there, and they're floating, and let them rehydrate for a day or two. And we're going to open these two. Okay, I'm going to open this berry, or put them all out right here on this plate for now. But see how soft this is. Let me take this one in case it doesn't work. But this one's soft enough to almost pull apart. Just cut this in half. You can kind of see the seeds in there. Just want to scrape it all out. See the color difference? This one's dark and this one's light and light. I don't want to lose any of these, so let me get the liquid set up. Okay, I've added a little bit of warm water to the bowl, and I'm going to take if I were using a bigger jar to ferment, and I'm using a jelly jar size, so I'm just going to take a quarter of a teaspoon of yeast and put in there. But let me get the rest of this seed in and try to separate it from the flesh. There's one. I see that I left one on the plate. This is kind of like processing tomatoes, but on a smaller scale. The seeds are a little smaller than tomatoes. It's almost like if you hit a tweezer, you could just pull some of these out too, but this is working fine. You can actually just leave the skins in with it while it ferments, but I like to get as much of them out of the flesh as I can. Okay. Now I'll pour it in here. And then add a teaspoon of, not a teaspoon, I'm adding a quarter teaspoon because I'm not going to have a lot of water, maybe about up to here, and then tomorrow I'll add more water, warm water up to there, and then take them out. Now I'm adding the quarter teaspoon of yeast. Putting warm water in, about halfway full. Tomorrow I'll add the other half. And the next day I'll rinse the seeds. Here's a bit of a close-up after squishing the seeds, or the berries. You'll see the tiny little seeds. What's surrounding them is a gel that inhibits the growth of the plant. That's the reason you need to soak it for 48 hours to get rid of the growth inhibitor, the gel that's surrounding it. And then rinse some off and dry them. I've also found a solution to the strainers. The holes are too big and the seeds can fall through, but I put a coffee filter on here, and then you can pour them into this and rinse it off, and then take the filter out and just let the seeds dry on the filter. This is what you can create with that seed. The first year you may get tiny potatoes, or you may get large potatoes, and then you save these and harvest them, store them and plant them again the next year, and you can possibly get even bigger potatoes. There's no guarantees until you find one that has a track record that you really like to keep, and then that can become your favorite seed. It's really fun to breed potatoes. And then this is the conclusion of what the seeds look like. These are what I dried and harvested a month or so ago in berry that I had to rehydrate. I'll put a link to that video in the corner over here, but they go from this to this, and they'll dry. You can use a paper towel, wax paper, parchment paper, and let them dry for at least a week or so. You know, they need to breathe also, and then store them away. And the important thing too is keep the name with it. That way, you know, you've got information of what it is or what it was. But thanks for watching, and I hope you found this to be helpful. Please leave, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you.